Have you ever felt like you were losing your mind in a conversation? Or that someone's affection felt too good to be true, only to be withdrawn just as quickly? You're not alone. These feelings are often the result of deliberate psychological manipulation. They are tactics designed to control, confuse, and disempower you. But awareness is the first step toward defense. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on 5 of the most common dark psychology tactics used to manipulate people. By understanding how they work, you can protect yourself and reclaim your power. Let's start with one of the most insidious forms of manipulation: gaslighting. The term comes from a 1938 play where a husband manipulates his wife into thinking she's going insane by dimming their gas-powered lights and then denying it's happening. In modern life, gaslighting is when someone intentionally makes you doubt your own perceptions, your memories, and even your sanity. They'll say things like, "That never happened, you're just being too sensitive," or "You're imagining things." The goal is to erode your confidence in your own reality, making you more dependent on them for your sense of truth. It's a slow burn, a gradual chipping away at your self-trust. You might start questioning everything, feeling constantly anxious and confused. The manipulator gains control by becoming the sole arbiter of what's real. Recognizing this pattern is crucial. Your feelings are valid, and your memories are real. Don't let anyone rewrite your reality. Next, we have a tactic that often feels wonderful at first, but hides a darker purpose: love bombing. Imagine meeting someone and feeling an instant, overwhelming connection. They shower you with affection, praise, and gifts. They tell you you're their soulmate within days or weeks. It feels like a fairy tale. This is love bombing. It's an intense, accelerated campaign of affection designed to make you feel dependent on them. The manipulator creates a high you constantly crave, but once they feel they have you hooked, the bombing stops. The intense affection is replaced by distance, criticism, or silence. You're left confused, desperately trying to get back to that initial high. This creates a powerful cycle of dependency. You start doing whatever they want, just to get a taste of that affection again. True, healthy love is a gradual process built on mutual respect and trust. Love bombing is a shortcut to control, using manufactured intensity to bypass genuine connection. The third tactic is guilt tripping. This is a powerful emotional weapon. A manipulator using guilt will make you feel responsible for their emotions, their actions, or their unhappiness. They might say things like, "If you really cared about me, you would do this," or "I'm only like this because of what you did." They twist situations to make it seem like you are the one at fault, even when you've done nothing wrong. This puts you in a constant state of obligation and defense. You find yourself apologizing for things that aren't your fault, or changing your behavior to avoid making them upset. The manipulator uses your empathy and sense of responsibility against you. They offload their own accountability onto you, controlling your actions by making you feel perpetually indebted or sorry. Remember, you are only responsible for your own actions and emotions, not anyone else's. Setting boundaries is key to deflecting this kind of emotional blackmail. Number 4 is a tactic that speaks volumes without saying a word: the silent treatment. This is when someone punishes you by withdrawing all communication. They ignore your calls, your texts, and your presence. It's more than just needing space. It's a deliberate act of emotional stonewalling used to inflict pain and assert control. The silence is deafening. It creates a vacuum of anxiety, making you question what you did wrong. You might feel invisible, rejected, and desperate to reconnect. This desperation often leads you to apologize, even if you don't know what you're apologizing for, just to end the silence. The manipulator knows this. They use silence to make you feel powerless and to force you into compliance. In a healthy relationship, conflicts are discussed. Using silence as a weapon is a form of emotional punishment, a clear sign of manipulative control. You deserve communication, not punishment. Finally, we have the most primal tactic: fear control. This is when a manipulator uses intimidation, threats, or instability to keep you in line. This control isn't always overt. It can be subtle. It might be the threat of leaving, the threat of exposing a secret, or creating an environment of constant unpredictability where you're always walking on eggshells. They create a world where you are afraid to displease them, afraid to speak your mind, afraid to leave. This fear becomes the invisible chain that binds you to them. They might fluctuate between anger and kindness, keeping you off balance and anxious, never knowing which version of them you're going to get. This is a strategy to break down your sense of security and make you feel that you need them for protection, even when they are the source of the danger. Control maintained through fear is not safety, it is a cage. True security comes from respect and freedom, not from intimidation. Gaslighting, love bombing, guilt tripping, the silent treatment, and fear control. These are the tools of the manipulator. They are designed to exploit our human need for connection, validation, and safety. But seeing these tactics for what they are strips them of their power. Knowledge is your shield. When you can name the game, you no longer have to play it. The journey from darkness to light begins with awareness. It begins with trusting your intuition, validating your own reality, and understanding that you deserve relationships built on respect, not control. If any of this sounds familiar, please know that help is available and you are not alone. Recognizing these patterns is the first, most powerful step toward breaking free. Awareness is power. Knowledge protects you. Thank you for watching.